What is up, everyone? This is Justin Wong, and obviously here you see a Street Fighter V tier list. But I don't want to make a tier list on who's the best characters, who are the worst characters in the game. I want to make more of a tier list about what characters are the lamest characters in the game, who are the lamest characters in the game, and all that good stuff. So, I mean, let's talk about it. Like, I personally feel that every character in just fighting games can be played lame at some degree. So, for a perfect example, you saw me used to play Rufus, Street Fighter 4 main, and I played him as lame. If you compared my Rufus to Ricky's Rufus, it's literally night and day. And the reason why is because I just love playing lame in general. Lame is the key, lame is the way, lame is my life. And yeah, so let's talk about ways of how characters in Street Fighter 5 can be played lame. Obviously, when you think about Street Fighter 5, you think it's a very aggressive rush down game, but I do feel like at the highest levels these days, in terms of tournament matches that you currently watch and see, it's one of those situations where it's a lot more slow play matches. Matches end a little more longer, they last a lot longer. Obviously, there are your conventional like flowchart rounds where you just like, oh, gotta jump in, gotta counter hit, take him to the corner, grab, stun, that's it, right? But that's not every single time. Like, there are gonna be long, slow play matches. So, I just wanna talk about some of the characters in the game that can be played lame. So we're gonna rank them from the obviously SS and as best characters in the game to C, which is the worst characters in the game for that opportunity of playing lame. So, I'm gonna just move around. And I'm gonna first start out with Manat. I do think Manat is probably one of the best, at the top of the leaderboard of playing lame. No hurt boxes, poke, 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 the way I play Manat. Like, there's always going to be offensive ways of playing Manat, but that's just risk. That's risk. You don't want to take that risk. You don't want to put yourself in a bad position. So, Manat played the way I would say I played, as like, a coward, what you guys call me, coward. And she's up there. Another character that is also up there is gonna be Guile. Guile's gonna be up there as well. Sonic booms, it's really hard to react. He has amazing normals and and his anti-air is so good. Sonic boom, flash kick. How many times have you seen Guile put you in the corner trap where he's just doing light punch boom, light punch boom, oh, you jump, flash kick, oh, you neutral jump, back fierce, right? So many times where you're forced to take that damage that you don't want to take, because he's literally spamming the same thing over and over again, and it's really hard to stop. Not many characters can stop Guile from throwing Sonic Boom into Flash Kick. It's a super hard read that you guys have to do, and it's lame. It's lame as hell, right? And obviously there are Guiles that play offensive like Knuckle and Chris G, and obviously when you compare it to Daigo, who throws 100 booms per round, right? He throws a lot of booms. It's really crazy, right? So Guile is definitely up there in the S tier ranks of just lame as hell. Who else is in the S tier ranks of lame as hell? I would say Birdie. Birdie's definitely up there in my opinion as well, just because one, he can just be buffer city with standing medium punch, poke with low jab, stand fierce. He has like all the long range normals, amazing anti with back medium, crouching medium punch, so you can't really jump at him. And it's one of those things where he shuts down a lot of characters. Birdie's one of those characters that you would use a lot in terms of a counter pick to lame out another character, right? And obviously Amena RD is a very aggressive Birdie, and that's kind of what made him win Capcom Cup. But Birdie is such a universal character, and that's why I think Japan puts him always on the top tier list, because he can be played both. He can be played both lame at 100% and also offensive 100%. I would say in this version of the game, his offense has been just kind of like dwindled down, and like in the neutral wise position with like making the EX bullhead more minus 9 now. But I mean, I still think like his normal games in terms of the reach of low jab, buffer stand medium punch, and all his normals in general, like low forward, sweep, stand fierce, is such amazing pokes. Amazing pokes. So what else? Like, who else is gonna be joining the S ranks? So I would say another character that is pretty good at being lame is also Zangief, right? Zangief is another character that can be played super lame. I would say in Street Fighter in general, when Zangief has a life lead, it's so hard to make a comeback because he doesn't need to take any more risk of just going for SPDs or really hard reads, right? Because Zangief goes for really hard reads, but he's essentially walking you down at first, right? Walking you down, low jab, standing medium punch, flex, right? That's all he's doing. He's it's an illusion that you think that he is working hard to get in, right? To like kind of like do offense. He's not really doing really so much offense. He's really just walking you down to the corner to make you scared because you're naturally scared of grapplers. People are naturally scared of grapplers, but when it comes to, let's say, oh, he has a life lead and you have to kind of like engage in a fight, what is he going to be poking you with? Just low jab, stand medium punch. He is comfortable in just doing low jab, stand medium punch for literally the entire round until your life is just down to 0. So that is why Zangief is up there in terms of just one of the best characters when it comes to be playing lame. You know, I do feel like Karen is also another super lame character, even though like there's some explosiveness, right, when it comes to her offense, like, but she really waits for her opportunity. She doesn't really just go in there gung-ho like, let's say a Cammy would like want to dive kick. Like, she walks you down, standing medium kick, V-skill from mad far, right, and just kind of wait. Like she is a character that really exposes people's defense, and that's their fault. But if someone has really good defense, it's really just going to be throw. It's really going to just be stand medium kick all day. A lot of times when Karen fights against aggressive characters, it's stand medium kick, stand medium kick, stand medium kick, stand medium kick times 1,000, right? So I don't know if I would put her in top 5, but she's definitely up here, like at least here. But there's other characters that's also in the mix. Like I said, Nakali, once he's in V-trigger, right, you're not going to stop the two things that he spams the most. Standing medium punch, buffer into disc of guidance, right? You're not going to stop that. You're not going to stop just doing seismos like 1,000 times all day. You're not going to really like stop that as a lot compared to other characters, right? So it's one of those things where like I said, even though Nakali looks like an aggressive character, he can be played lame, very, very strong. And obviously, in terms of this game, when you look at other characters, it's not easy to play lame. Another good lame character is obviously Faulk. Faulk is another good lame character that's around like the mix of just like poking, you know, buffering the shot all day, and you know, not really jumping and not really putting any type of pressure. Like, her overall just game is just lame, right? But obviously that's why she has a lot of like downfall in terms of her normals, not having a 3 frame, easily jumping forward fierce. A lot of moves can be punished against the forward fierce on block, right? So that's something to take into consideration. And then another character that could be actually played really, really strong lame is even Ibuki. Ibuki is really strong lane. You know, she could really stay out of your distance, just doing crouching medium punch in the EX kunai, buffering the forward heavy kick from a really good range where you can't punish, and then, you know, just throwing kunais from full screen and just reloading the knives. Like, people can really just really abuse that with Ibuki as well too, right? So she's another really strong lane character. Rasheed, another good runaway character as well. He's one of those characters that can really just run away, you know, jump around the whole terrain of stages, doing this light punch tornado, and a lot of characters can't really get around that, you know. It's one of those things. Nash, how did we forget about Nash? He's, you know, one of the lamest characters in the beginning of the game when it first came out. Sonic Boom, just spacing out, medium kick scythe, you know, low forward, forward roundhouse, you know, standing jab, perfect anti-airs from so many different type of perfect anti-airs. So that's right. I would say Nash would probably be the 5th character in terms of just being able to play lame, because overall the neutral of how Nash is played is, you know, he has that opportunity to play lame in general. So yeah, I would say that would be like the top 5, and personally, in my opinion, of what characters are just lame as hell, right? And then yeah, so I would say that's like the SS, right, for like, well, I guess, you know, the top 5 in general. So for sure these 4 are like by far, in my opinion, the top 4, right? And then I'll say Nash, but even then Nash can be easily replaced by someone. So let's put him right here, right? By any of these characters, like coming in, like these 5 characters are also very strong in terms of just like being able to kind of like play lame, slow play the opponent, make other people kind of like take that risk where you don't want to take any risk at all because of how they naturally are played characters in general. So yeah, so let's say that this is the current roster. This is our possible top 10 of playing lame. But what other characters can have like that extensive amount of being played lame, right? So like for example, like I would say you would think Shotos in general are naturally defensive characters, right? You obviously would say Ryu, Ken, Akuma, Sakura, and I guess Kage, right, are definitely like these. I don't know if Kage is a Shotokan or anything, but so obviously Ryu, Ken, Akuma, Sakura's the schoolgirl in training. So you would think naturally they would play lame, but I would say in Street Fighter V, it's not the case. Ryu really has to rely on a lot of dashes, right? A lot of dashes, a lot of just like, you know, random standing heavy kick crush counter. Ken, very explosive, right? Sakura is the same way in terms of just you having to like kind of buffer a lot, dashing a lot, activating a re-trigger. Her offense is strong. You know, she doesn't really have a great fireball or just like really good normal, so she kind of has to stay in there. Kage is Shindan, doesn't have like really a lot of good options in general in terms of neutral, so I would say he actually has to take a lot of risk. Akuma is definitely the character that can really shine by playing lame. You know, he has a fireball that knocks you down. He has amazing normals. He can whiff punish you with standing kick from a million miles away. You know, so he's one of those characters that can be played super lame. V-trigger fireballs are so good. V-trigger air fireballs so good. Like his anti-airs are amazing in general. He has the stop sign of a 3-frame jab that hits, that like has like the distance of just, you know, a stop sign. So it's one of those things where he's definitely a top character in terms of playing lame as well. So I would say he might even be up here with like the other guys. So maybe this might be the top 11 right here. Akuma is one of those characters that can be played super lame as well. But I do agree the rest of the Shotokans are in the bad position of probably being around here of probably the bottom characters that could be played lame, just because of that they don't have that much bullshit in the game and they don't have that much like moves where it reaches, so they have to take those initiative dashes to just start something, you know. Obviously a lot of players always talk about how Ken likes to wake up DP all the time, right? That's like a common trend that people would say. So I mean, other than that, I think we'll probably just go into like the mid tiers, right? The mid tier characters that can be played lame. So, you know, what's funny is that you would think Dawson is a lame character, but I feel like he can be played lame, obviously, because he has, you know, almost full screen normals, standing medium punch, standing medium kick, standing fear, standing roundhouse, but they have so much delay. They're negative, and his fireball, like that, his regular fireball is it's not a defensive move. It's more of an aggressive move, you would say. Like a lot of times, you know, you would do a fireball up close, go for the slide. You know, it's a combo extension and an aggressive fireball. This EX fireball is definitely lame. It gives him a lot of space, but that's the EX bar. So that's why he isn't even near the top. He's maybe towards like this bottom tier list right here, possibly, right, of playing lame. And you can't really say he's the worst because he has long range normals. He has a good anti-air, but his offense is definitely way stronger for sure. That really kind of makes him stand out. If you look at DDMO KOF, like he is super aggressive Dawson, and all the other Dawson are super aggressive, and I would say that's kind of how they get most of their wins. You know, I would say that's really the reason. And then other characters, let's say I would say Chun-Li is good straight mid tier play lane, just naturally good poke, standing heavy kick, standing heavy punch, EX legs 5 frames, really slow fireball, you know. And then also Cammy can be played super lame, just standing medium kick, standing fierce. Those are two of the best normals in the game, just mashing out. Standing fierce 6 frames, so you could really just buffer it from full screen away, and they'll just smack mediums all day. You just do it, throw it. And standing medium kick, another normal that really it's not used a lot because Cammy's offense is strong, but man, if she wants to lame you out and just wait it out, she can definitely do that, right? Another character is very strong is Abigail. A lot of times Abigail just do crouch jab. You know, when you see Abigail do explosive things like command grab or whatever, but the thing is, he can really like close out a round. He is a master of closing out rounds. If you have 1% of pixel left, that's it. He's not pressing mediums. He's not pressing like low forward or stand fierce. He's only gonna press jab. He's only gonna just do that two hit bullshit jab, and that's it. Just lame you out, right? That's definitely that. Let's see who else can be played lame. I would say Mika is good at playing lame as well, right? The fact that Mika do like standing medium punch, right? And just like the way Fudo plays, just super lame. And I think that's really strong as well. Jury, a very good runaway character where you could kind of just like run away and build your resources and press standing medium kick, standing roundhouse, like definitely very good lame. Coleen as well. Colleen's very good at playing lame. Like she could just throw hails, standing light kick into hands all the time, low forward, you know, watch you like you can't walk back, and obviously just throwing out standing fierce. Like definitely another lame character. I would say Blanca. Most of the cast cannot punish light punch ball, so the fact that you could just kind of string it up with light punch ball is such a strong tool in terms of the neutral that they kind of like really like a lot of people kind of don't see it, you know. They think of Blanca as just the V-Trigger 2 characters, but I mean there's times where Blanca could just really just sit back and wait. Good anti-airs, he's already crouch blocking all day, has the hop, you know, and like I said, light punch ball is so strong. What other characters? I would say, you know, Balrog can be played lame as well, just doing spaced out dash punches all the time, standing fierce, perfect anti-air with standing medium punch. So that's another thing where Balrog can be played lame. Like if you watch actually Smug play, even though he's very explosive in his offense, he actually really just waits it out. Like he will wait it out, wait for a dash, and check you with his auto target combo of like light kick, medium kick, and heavy kick, and then start the offense from there. But you know, he gets his offense started because of his defensive tools. So then you have the rest of these characters. Man, this is getting a little harder, I would say, because I wouldn't know like too much about like how can they get around. I would say Sagat, just based off like man, the problem with Sagat is that yeah, he's a lame character, but is he really a lame character? Because I feel like you kind of have to wake up DP a lot with him. Like the fact that people are gonna maul you, he has a bad dash, his pokes aren't the best, and he really does have to take risks unless you you know, in the matrix and you have the perfect fireball spacing. So I guess I would say like yeah, I guess he has to like be played somewhat random, but he can also be played lame at the same time. Another character that can also be played lame is Zaku. Obviously Zaku with the stand light kick, or the young Zaku, and the gram spacing is really strong as well. So that I would say that's pretty good, especially the way Daigo's been playing with him. He's just really content with just poking a stand light kick low forward in young Zaku form, right? So I would say that's another lame character that's probably just mid tier in general. Then we're gonna have G. G's, you know, even though G is a perfect Street Fighter 5 character, he can lame out these projectile characters just because his V skill absorbs it, builds him V meter. He don't have to attack you. You have to attack him. So the fact that he forces lame characters to attack you is really strong. But I would say that the problem with him is that he's gonna have to take that risk to kind of close out those rounds just because of how he is, which is why it's not as consistent compared to the other characters from the top. And then so let's see, I have 6 right here, the 4 right here. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. I would say Urien is a mid-tier lame character just because he naturally has long limbs in general, and you know, he has a fireball. He has a V-skill that gives him armor where he can just kind of hold it and wait and use it at the right time to like kind of just zone you out with it, right? So it's something where okay, you have your good anti-airs, you have your good pokes, and you have a fireball, but that's why he's in the mid-tier list, right? Because he eventually, you know, he has to really rely on a potential V-trigger or potential stand fierce crush counter to kind of like do that. So the fact that you're wishing for something to happen like that, it's kind of what with triggers as well. So I would say this is the current how it looks. Other characters, I guess Bison, just because Bison's already so good, so he's gonna put you in those forced positions of just being plus and staying light kick 3 frames. The EX surger kicks, a lot of his moves that he can use can really kind of just be played lame, right? Especially when Bisons are just like kind of banking on you jumping, because you're definitely mad about just blocking this down forward fear, standing medium kick. So the fact that you're blocking all these normals, and you're just getting mad and you're forced to jump, and that's where Bison anti-airs are, they come out, because they force you to get frustrated, and then they force you to get a jump, because they're just walking back, man. They're putting their arms crossed and just walking you back. And then you have the rest of the characters. You would think Fang, but personally, Fang is a super strong mix of characters. He can be played lame, but he's the same thing as Dawson. Like, eventually you have to take a risk where you need to do like a mix-up or 50-50 or an extended, something extended where like they can kind of like take over the round. So I would say Fang is another character that's on the weak side, but can be played lame as well, with depending on tools, right? And then I would say you have the rest of your 5 characters. You have Laura. Just throw Laura out there, right? The fact that Laura has to rely on the V-skill dash and is so minus and everything, so much risk, right? So much risk. Then you have Alex, right? The fact that he doesn't really have too much. All he has is kind of like elbow, and his his pokes in general, like low strong, low forward. You could definitely lame it out with that type of stuff, but it's just not enough compared to other character pokes, right? I would say Cody as well. Cody is not really a lame character. He kind of is more of your in your face, throwing out like EX zonks all the time, right? And to put you in the offensive pressure. And I feel like he's always on the offense. He doesn't really play lame. Only time he plays lame is just buffering staying light kick, or anti-airing with the easy anti-air V skill. But other than that, he's always on the offense moving forward. I would say poor Ed, man. Ed is another character that really Capcom messed up, man. Ed is just Ed. Like he's definitely a character that's just completely, I would say, in the middle, in the balance of the middle of offense and defense. Doesn't shine either way in terms of like what is his strong. He's literally just down in the middle, and I think that's kind of what makes it bad, because he doesn't have a lot, right? And then I would say Vega. You would think Vega's would be higher actually on the tier list, but the problem with Vega is that, yeah, he can be lame in claw, but the fact that you're forced to change stances to non-claw mode because you don't want to lose your claw during a match. Like, once you lose your claw, that's it. But obviously in the beginning of the match, he can use his claw, which helps in stand medium punch, forward fierce. A lot of characters can't even stop forward fierce. A lot of characters can't even stop standing medium punch. But the fact that you have to cancel out of your claw, it's like, at least let me pick up the claw. Then Vega would be at least next to maybe Chun-Li. But the fact that he just drops the claw into his GG, which puts him into the bottom 5 position. So I would say this is my tier list. This is my live lame tier list. Maybe things can change if I really sat down and thought about it, but I would say this is my current tier list of top tiers of lame compared to the worst characters of lame. And I would say, yeah, every character in the game can be played lame to an extent, but obviously there's going to be characters that do it better than others. So thank you guys for watching. Hope to enjoy. Maybe you do agree. Maybe you'll look at the game more differently because of what I meant about these characters can be played lame. And if you watch matches from like the higher levels in the CPT, you'll see that the matches are taking a lot longer. There are more, even though there are not a lot of defensive options, people are playing more defensively in neutral and not just relying on crush counters, activations, random dashes. I mean, those will always still be there because of the nature of the game. But that doesn't mean we are not getting better at stopping those type of madmen from taking those type of risks. So please, out there, thank you guys for watching. Share the video. If you are part of the good lame play, you already know what to do. Chill it out. And if you are not, and you'll probably give me a thumbs down because you guys are offensive people, then hopefully, I mean, yeah, try to stop me in tournament. Other than that, I'll see you guys later. Peace.